Hey guys, what's up? This is White Boy for the win, and welcome back to Y Mega Evolve. Now, this is a special Y Mega Evolve video, so I'm not going to be doing the normal intro that I do in these type of videos because I'm not going to be telling you guys which Pokemon we're going to be talking about later down the line. But regardless, I wanted to do a special for Pyroar, aka a part 2 for a Mega Pyroar, because roughly when I started this series, really pretty much like the first 30, one of them was a Mega Pyroar. Now, as time went on, I actually had another idea for a Mega Pyroar because, in my opinion, if once Game Freak decides to give 6th Gen Pokemon Megas, not including Diancie, I think Pyroar is easily top 15 on which Pokemon should get a Mega, because there's a couple of things in my opinion, that's kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of killing Pyroar for being much better, and two of the reasons is that it's typing and also its stats. Now, it's typing fire and normal. It's actually, now I wouldn't say, is it a unique typing? I'm not sure, but if it is a unique typing, it's just that being part normal, it's going to get bopped by a Mach Punch coming from a balloon technician boosted, because its HP is not that high, and also its defensive stats aren't all that high as well, and which is making Pyroar a very, very frail Pokemon. So once again, like I said, pretty much with like one Mach Punch is going to knock out a Pyroar. But regardless, honestly, I actually had another idea for a Mega Pyroar, and I wanted to do a special part 2 for this. Now, when it comes to the designers, I know people are probably going to comment on this. I get these designs off of Google. These are fan made, and I got someone commenting on my latest Y Mega Evolve video. I think it was Mega Cacturn, saying that, oh, you should give credit where credit is due with these designs. Once again, it's not that I don't want to, it's just that I can't. For reasons is that pretty much I get all my images from Google, okay? Now, if I go to like the exact source where they're coming from, how do I know if that's the person who made it, unless like they made like a video, like a speed drawing of that fan-made Mega? So at the same time, it's not that I don't want to give credit, it's just that I can't, because what happens if I give credit where credit is due to the wrong person? I'm gonna have people flagging my videos, there are gonna be people complaining, and so on and so forth. So I need like actual proof that these are like the actual person's design. Then if they say something, I'll give them credit. I'll put everything in the description like I always do with like the music and stuff like that. But regardless, once again, going back to Pyroar, obviously this isn't going to be Mega Pyroar's design, because it looks like a Dracula lion with mixed with like a scorpion. I mean, it has wings and its tail looks like a scorpion's tail. Come on, guys, like, this isn't going to be its Mega design, so I don't understand why people keep saying that I don't think this is going to be its Mega design in the comments section. So regardless, as you can tell from what I've done to Pyroar stats, obviously it's a little bit different from what I did for the original Pyroar, Mega Pyroar video, which will be in the description box down below, so you guys can go and check it out after this video. But regardless, I did change a lot of things between the two, but as you can tell, I left its physical attack alone. Now, the one thing that kind of like is mind-boggling when it comes to Pyroar is that it's based off of a lion. Now, if you think of lions in real life, they're like very powerful and ferocious, and you think that when it comes to Pyroar being a lion-based Pokemon, its attack stat will be easily above base like 100, maybe even a base above base 110 at the least. But sadly enough, its physical attack is at base 68, which kind of sucks because I envisioned its physical attack being a lot higher than it is right now, and giving it like the huge power ability. I know a lot of people say that I overuse those abilities, so I'm trying to cut back on like huge power, sacred power, and pure power. Those type of abilities I pretty much double or triple like the attack stat or the special attack stats. So like maybe once or twice, or not once or twice, maybe once in a while I'll do like one of those abilities, but at the same time I'm trying to cut back on them. So when it comes, like I said, to Pyroar's base attack, I left it alone as base 68. Even though it does get the Moxie ability, it isn't really going to help it out in the long run. Giving it a choice band or a life orb, like I said, isn't going to like help it at all. So leaving it alone at base 68 is for the best. There's no reason for me to decrease it as well, because honestly there is really no reason. And now for its special attack, I increased it from base 109 to base 150. Now obviously Pyroar is a special attacking base Pokemon. You get like, I think if I'm not mistaken, like the most common moveset for a Pyroar, now I might be wrong because I never actually used a Pyroar in competitive play, is Will-O-Wisp, Hyper Voice, Heat Wave, Fire Blast and or Flamethrower and Dark Pulse. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure those are like the common moves you would use on a regular Pyroar for competitive play, and a lot of people run like a Timid Nature with like Life Orb or Choice Specs, and it just does the job. Now with base 150 special attack, obviously you already know how well it's going to do because there's a lot of Pokemon that have a base 150 special attack. For example, Angus-Slash. If you run a special Angus-Slash, you don't really need to run like a max special attacking one because usually most of the time they run like weakness policy, but regardless, when it comes to like base 150 special attack, it's just going to be doing monstrous amount of damage. And even so, as a regular Pyroar, giving it like a Choice Specs or a Life Orb, it still does the damage. So just imagine what base 150 special attack for and Mega Pyroar will do. Now for its physical defense, I increased it from base 72 to base 87, and its special defense from base 66 to base 90. Now I wanted to actually evenly out whatever like points I had left into its defensive stats. Now granted, its defensive stats are not all that great, and with its typing being fire normal, it's still going to be very frail. I've already explained this like at the beginning of the video. A Technician boosted Berlin Mach Punch is most likely going to take out a Pyroar. No questions asked, no questions needed pretty much. And I wanted to increase its defenses just a little bit, I mean to the point where it can take maybe one hit. Now there's no guarantee that it will. Now at the same time, with having a physical defense at base 87, I could have given it the Intimidate ability and make this thing somewhat like an Arcanine, because most of the time competitive Arcanines are like the defensive bulky kind with Morning Sun, Toxic, and or Will-O-Wisp, Extreme Speed, and Flare Blitz, and sometimes Close Combat with 252 in HP, 252 in physical defense, and foreign physical attack with like the Rocky Helmet or Leftovers. I mean, that's pretty much a standard Arcanine set as well, and I kind of honestly think that if I would have given it the Intimidate ability, it would have been that way of being like a physical defensive Pokemon, if that makes sense, as well with Arcanine. So regardless, at base 87 for its physical defense and base 90 for its special defense, regardless, it's still going to be a frail Pokemon, but it's way better than base 72 and base 66 for physical and special defense. But like I said, it's still going to be a frail Pokemon. So increasing its defensive stats is always not a bad thing. It's always a good thing at the same time. Now for its speed, I increased it from base 106 to base 126. I only wanted to give its speed a 20-point boost because as it is already at base 106, it's still a pretty fast Pokemon, and giving a 20-point boost into its speed, making it 126, is going to be a really fast Pokemon as well. Just pretty much adding speed to a very fast, speedy Pokemon like Pyroar. Now for its base, as a regular Pyroar, its base stats at 507, with the Mega Evolution it's going to be at 607. Now for its ability, I've already used this ability a couple of times with a couple other different Pokemon with my Y Mega Evolve videos as well, and it's called Sinister. Now what Sinister does, it's pretty much that it turns normal type moves into dark type moves. I've used it for Mega Umbreon if I'm not mistaken. I also used it for Mega Sableye if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but if you guys want to see those videos, then look them up on my channel. But regardless, I think Sinister will be a very good ability for Pyroar because it doesn't really get access to many stab type dark type moves. I mean, the only really good stab type dark type moves it gets is Crunch and Dark Pulse. Now we already explained this. Pyroar isn't a physical type attacker and it's more of a special type attacker, so Crunch really isn't going to do anything, while at the same time Dark Pulse is its best dark type offensive move. And a lot of people are actually, anyone who runs like a competitive Pyroar, most of the time what I've seen, use Dark Pulse, so it will also give Pyroar more stab type moves as well. I mean, it gets access to Hyper Voice, which is also going to be a very powerful move. If it does get like the Sinister ability, it gets access to, if I'm not mistaken, like Takedown and all that stuff. So those are just a couple other moves that you can run that are normal type moves that will turn into dark type moves. And also it does get access to Hyper Beam, so you can be like a Sylveon sometimes if you don't want to run Hyper Voice. If you want to run Hyper Voice and Hyper Beam, those are still two very powerful normal type attacks that Pyroar does get access to as well. With the Sinister ability turning normal type moves into dark type moves, it will do a lot of damage. Now for its typing, I actually got rid of its normal typing and gave it the dark type characteristics. Now yes, I know it's still going to be weak to fighting, but at the same time I think the dark typing does fit better for Pyroar because with the ability I've given it, it's going to give it more stab type moves. And honestly, I think Pyroar should have been Fire Dark from the beginning. Same thing as Houndour and Houndoom. I think it's a very, very unique typing and also a very, very good typing at the same time. Granted, it's not the best combination typing out there because it is going to be weak to a lot of stuff, but regardless, with the special attack that Pyroar has and also with the speed that Pyroar has, the only thing that's most likely going to be able to take it down is that if you go for a move and your opponent lives it, or if your opponent goes for like a priority move like Mach Punch or something along the lines of that, or should I say Vacuum Wave as well, that will potentially like maybe knock it out or deal a lot of damage where you won't live next turn and you're going to get knocked out regardless. But once again, like I said, I think the dark type characteristics is a lot better than the normal type, and once again with the ability of turning normal type moves into dark type moves, it's pretty much you're not losing anything, but at the same time you're gaining something, if that makes sense. So with all that said, there is my part 2 for Mega Pyroar. So anyways guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also don't forget to comment and subscribe. Now I hope you guys really enjoyed this part 2 for Mega Pyroar. Honestly, I would like to see like Pyroar end up like this rather than the first one I had. But once again, like I said, if you guys want us to compare both of my Mega Pyroars, they are going to be in the description box down below. My previous Blind Mega Evolve video for my original Pyroar, and also once again, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also don't forget to comment and subscribe. So this is White Boy for the win, and I'll catch you guys later.